Jacob Elordi is 6'5", okay? He is a whole foot taller than me.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
A brilliant but egotistical scientist brings a creature to life in a monstrous experiment that ultimately leads to the undoing of both the creator and the tragic creation. I wholeheartedly believe that Del Toro has created his masterpiece within Frankenstein. This $120 million budgeted film has really been in the works for over 20 years. Things were looking up for Guillermo with Pan's Labyrinth, an international Oscar-winning success. Then Universal got cold feet. From Variety, when the director signed a first-look deal at Netflix in 2020, the company's co-CEO, Ted, asked him about his bucket list projects. They included Pinocchio and Frankenstein. This is a massive, ambitious, and personal piece of filmmaking here. This is one of those movie-going experiences, especially in the theater, that you can feel the passion in every frame. From beginning to end, it's filled with hard emotion and tragedy. I'll admit, I've never been super familiar with Mary Shelley's story beyond the basics. Victor Frankenstein, a mad scientist, wants to bring the dead to life, and now we have the monster. That's about it. That's all I knew. And that also he wanted a wife. But Del Toro reimagines this tragedy into something more meaningful than just loss. It's also about forgiveness and how to move forward and accept the position that you have in life, to live on. The biggest tragedy of all is the limited theatrical release that Netflix is going to put out, and then this will be everywhere November 7th for you to see on your nice flat screen television. The amount of work, the amount of production, because let me talk about that. The production design is incredible. The actual sets are built. They feel lived in. From the creepy castle that Victor spends his time creating the creature, to a ship lost at sea, frozen sea, and mansions that are bigger than life itself. It feels real. And when they look real, you feel like it is real because they actually did build these sets. Anyways, I'm trying to say the production design is worthy of Oscar praise, and if it doesn't get nominated, what is going on at the Academy? Speaking of amazing work, performances all across the board are fantastic. Christoph Waltz, kind of forgot that he was in this. Mia Goth as Elizabeth, the lovely, delicate Elizabeth. She is a gentle and kind spirit. Now, there's been some complaints about how Del Toro goes around Elizabeth. She's just the damsel in distress. She's the love interest. But for the story, she serves exactly her purpose, and that's to further the narrative of love, loss, and the tragedy of a father and son. This is about love, but it's really about miscommunication between a son and a father. That is kind of the heartbeat of this whole film. And it is about Elizabeth as well, between both dynamics of Victor and the creature, but it's about those two. And she just simply does a great job of boosting both of them in the light that they need to be in for this narrative. And speaking of those two great gentlemen, Oscar Isaac is incredible as the sporadic, chaotic, and deeply damaged Victor Frankenstein. This guy has some serious mommy-daddy issues. He pours all of that pain into these experiments. From a tragedy of losing his mother, he wants to resurrect the dead to prove something that he can bring people back. Then there's Jacob Elordi as the creature, giving his best performance ever. There's a kindness to his eyes, and Del Toro says this when watching a movie. 50% of it is looking at something, and the other 50% is us, the audience, being looked at. That changed my whole life, and it's very simple with how he worded it, but that's exactly what watching a movie is. And you feel that you are being watched by someone that is so filled with this purity, this innocence, but so much larger than life. Jacob Elordi is 6'5", okay? He is a whole foot taller than me.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
This guy just has dedication. From Variety, it says that this man would show up 10 p.m. at the makeup trailer to get ready. I think I also heard that it took about 10 hours to get all the prosthetics on him, and then he would get on camera. These people work hard. His performance reminds me of Robert Pattinson's Batman, quiet, internalized, but deeply emotional. He barely speaks, but he wants to speak. He wants to learn from humanity, and that was the unique component throughout the second half of this film, being in this journey of a man that so deeply wants to understand, but he also wants to be understood. You feel everything through his eyes, the loneliness, confusion, and yearning for love. And Guillermo uses that innocence to propel this character into a trajectory that is so compelling. It left me in tears within the final moments of this film for where this character ends up. Like Pan's Labyrinth, Del Toro crafts a story that balances horror and heart, reminding us to not judge by appearance, but to look at someone's heart. To also learn that vengeance isn't the way, but forgiveness, to forgive and forget. And that is something that is very easy to hear, but hard to act out on. Shout out to the incredible cinematographer bringing us into the 19th century like it's a breath of fresh air. Overall, Frankenstein is a movie I won't forget for a very long time. It's everything I could want from a Del Toro project. Emotional, tragic, beautiful, and deeply human. If you're looking for heartbreak wrapped in a masterpiece, you found it. 10 out of 10. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this review. It really means a lot. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, but most of all, do not forget to be blessed.